Yerke.
That's not important too, no?
Along with his beautiful assistants, Blanca, Deborah, and Melanie,
Maybe we can zoom. Yeah.
demonstrate the safety information of this aircraft. When the captain illuminates the seatbelt sign, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings into each other and tighten by pulling the loose end of the strap.
Like this.
Yeah.
To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle.
This is fine.
We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, not because of turbulence, but because the information being shared with you will be monumental, earth-shattering, mind-blowing, and will give you the feeling that you are on the most incredible roller coaster ride you have ever experienced. All this to say, don't leave your seat. You may miss out on the next big announcement. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft: forward, aft, and over each wing. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you toward the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which also may be used and detached as a life raft. Oxygen and air pressure are always being monitored. In the event of extreme excitement, huge, bigger than huge announcements, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing through the mask. If the passenger beside you is out cold from all the excitement and requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist the other passenger. Keep your mask on until a crew member advises you to remove it. Our Dubli 787 Dreamliner has no life vest. Since our journey is destined for success and nothing else, you simply will not need them. You may use all electronic and mobile devices when we reach our desired altitude. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. There are smoking rooms available just outside the cabin doors. In addition to a non-smoking flight, this is a no whining, no complaining flight. It's a please and thank you flight, and you are such a good-looking flight attendant flight. You will find this and all other safety information on the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. We strongly suggest you review it before takeoff. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all an exciting and enjoyable journey. Before we take off, one last announcement. During our journey, if the person next to you is loud, talking, whispering, using their mobile phone, and you just can't take it anymore, we have several flight marshals on board that will kindly remove your neighbor from the flight. So please, be on your best behavior. Be a respectful, courteous, friendly, and observant passenger. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
This is your captain speaking, Michael Hansen. We are taking off now.
privilege to be in front of all of you. We have somewhere close to 40 countries represented here today. Thank you for allowing us to have some fun, because Thomas, you're all about fun. We're going to have fun over the next 72 hours. And as we were talking about the mask and the oxygen mask, wow, what an event each and every one of us are going to experience in the next couple of minutes. But before we introduce our very first guest, I want to take you back just a little bit to remember when. You're going to be hearing from our CEO, our president, our founder, our technology team, and all the incredible announcements. But sometimes it's fun to reminisce and look at remember when. And what we'd like to do, for those people, I'll give you an example. Brand new vice president out of Salt Lake City by the name of Kyle Montag. He's too young to remember when, because he's younger than my 28 years of age. But for some of you in this room, you might remember when. At that time, for those people that were part of this incredible industry sharing, there wasn't the LCD projector. We didn't even have the brick phone at the time. All of our presentations were right behind me on a projector. And it was amazing lugging that projector around. I'm talking for the veterans that are in this room from 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago. And it was amazing lugging that projector around, that it was important that every slide went into the carousel. Now I can see some of you right now, you're smiling because you can relate to that. I can't tell you the horror stories of my first presentation where those slides were not put in properly and the sweat was just pouring down my face. But you know, as we got more and more with technology, it was about who could come up with the coolest slides. Coolest slides. So if you weren't Brian McIntosh and could build a presentation, you did everything you could to have some very interesting slides in your presentation. Now, a couple of mine that are my favorites, I'm actually on that slide at the very bottom, but that, I'm just kidding about that. But as you can see, technology has taken us to today. And what we're going to be hearing is where technology with Dubli's taking us in the future. Simple, easy, fast, and fun. And Krista, when we had presentations and we had those slides in and we were just going through the business presentation, there would always be that slide that would come up upside down. And maybe there was another one throughout your presentation. Do you remember what this was? There was a time in the industry, network marketing, direct sales, relationship marketing, where once a month, we would get that report mailed to us in our mailbox. It would be about this thick. It would have all of your distributors, in our case, business associates. You remember that, Dean? And once a month, we would get a handwritten check, and it would come through the mail. And one of my favorites, because I was told a long time ago and mentored that we should focus on what we have and not what we don't have. Do you remember this tool? Tell me something. If you were open to a new opportunity and you had the time and we had a chance to create some additional stream of income, would you listen to my business presentation on my cassette tape? And that's exactly how many people in this room build large organizations. And then when a person listened to that tape, Now, Alex, there's a lot of people in this room that cannot relate to that pager and that pager noise. And then you would have to stop at a 7-Eleven or find the nearest payphone to make that call back. And then as time progressed, how many can relate to that sound? Absolutely. Well, that's not what the Dubli Summit 2015 is all about. We're going into the future. Are you ready? Well, as we get ready to bring out our very first speaker, a gentleman that has success written all over the corporate world, has been president and CEO of many large companies. Claim to fame, one of his last, president and CEO of Hip Cricket. And as we get a chance to meet Ivan, our president and CEO of Ominto, you're going to realize what we have on the corporate side in a very quick time frame. That this gentleman is caring, he has the experience, he knows how to steer the ship as the captain, and we are just so honored and so pleased to bring up on stage with your applause, Mr. Ivan Braiker.
So excited to be here today. And one of the things that I am most excited about is I know what you're going to see today. And I think by the end of this day, you are going to be so blown away and so happy and excited about where this future is, you're not even going to believe it. And I know that my least favorite thing to talk about is me, but I know there's been several questions of, who am I, where did I come from, and all those kind of good things. So a little bit about me, and not to bore you too much. I guess one of the best definitions is I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've built many businesses. My passion is to build great teams and great businesses. And it was kind of interesting. It was a little more than a year ago, a longtime friend of mine, who today is our chairman, David Poli, called me and said, Ivan, I'm working with this really interesting company, and we're putting together a board of advisors. And I would love for you to join us if it's something you'd be interested in. He said, go take a look at it and see what you think. So I looked at it, I got back to David, and David said, it really looks like a really interesting company, and I'd love to be considered. He said, well, it so happened Michael Hansen's going to be in Seattle, can you get with him? And I did. And I was so blown away with Michael. His vision was so terrific. I mean, here is a guy who looked me in the eye and said, Ivan, really what I want to do, my driving passion is I want to make more millionaires out of our company than Microsoft did. Now, that's all of you. And knowing that you have the founder of the company, and I don't know that Michael has a bigger passion in his entire life than to see that happen. So you're in for quite the story. And as Gary kind of said, just a couple of highlights on some of the companies I've done. We started, and I was the founder of a company called Satellite Music Network in the US, which is the first satellite radio company that was created. One of the other highlights would be my last company, which Gary mentioned, which was Hip Cricket. And Hip Cricket was a mobile marketing company, and we really were very early in the United States. I mean, mobile was kind of going out in different places around the world, but it hadn't really started up in the US. So we kind of blindly went charging into the world and thought that it was a great idea, and we built it to being the biggest there was in the US. And then it went on to be acquired by another company. So when the opportunity came around to join the Board of Advisors, I did that. At our first meeting of the Board of Advisors, the gentlemen that were kind of the co-advisors, and you're going to meet them all today because our Board of Directors and our Board of Advisors that exist today were all together as the first advisory board. And I was so impressed. I looked around the room and I go, what am I doing here? These guys, I mean, look at these guys. I mean, they were superstars. I mean, really, really superstars. And as much as I've been involved with some really great companies, I can tell you, in your company, in Omento, I've never seen a board that looks like this, that is as responsive as they are. Their heart and soul is in seeing the growth of this company. It's amazing. And I'm going to introduce you to them here in just a minute. And let me see here, there are several of you who have really come up even and asked me, why the name change? Why did we do away with Dubli Inc. and why are we Omento? Well, part of what Michael's vision was, and we wanted to follow on with that. Michael's vision was to build this great company, but having it expand several different areas with a lot of different capabilities. So we really kind of looked around at companies that we could somewhat model off of. And the one that I sat down with Michael and said, take a look at this, see this one. And it's a company called IAC. And you probably have never heard of IAC unless you happen to be in the media world. Well, IAC is the parent company of About.com, Match.com, Ask.com. It goes on and on and on. So it really was kind of an interesting model. And when I showed that to Michael, I said, this really makes sense. This is something that we should emulate. So basically, Omento, when we changed the name of Dubli to Omento, Omento is the parent company. We are the holding company that holds all these other things. And eventually, we hope to have it expand to a lot of other things. Today, it's the parent company of Dubli.com and Dubli Network. So we are here to serve all of you, and it's all essentially one company. So it's an exciting time. Our Omento will be our business-to-business brand. We will be working with other companies. We will be working with other partners to provide you, our network, with a lot of different things that you're going to be able to sell and be a part of. Excuse me. And you're going to see some of these capabilities as we get through the day here. And now, to introduce you to our board of directors. And as I was saying, and I took some notes here because I didn't want to mess it up. Because these are some great guys with some great backgrounds, and just trying to even remember them all. I'm going to back that up, sorry. David Polai, who was the gentleman that I mentioned to you, that was been a friend of mine for well over 30 years. A very impressive background in his own right. Really was the founder of what is today's shopping, e-commerce shopping. Michael Hansen, we already know well about. Mitch Hill was the past president, or senior vice president, and chief financial officer of Disney Imagineering. He was the president of Buy.com and holds an MBA from Harvard University. Let me get here, sorry. Our next one, Peter Harris. Peter is the CEO of Spartan College of Aeronautics. He was the editor-in-chief of the Harvard Journal of Law. A very smart and terrific guy. We get a chance to meet him. Gary Boffman. Gary he's been a CEO of a lot of different companies, and you couldn't ask for a more impressive guy. Gary was the CEO of companies that you are well aware of. Fisher-Price Toys, Tyco, one other here, sorry. Sorry, Gary, I should know that by heart. I'm going to have to leave it at Tyco. Little Tykes, that's it, Little Tykes. And really was the company that he was the one that helped create Tickle Me Elmo, which you all know, I'm sure. And then we have Ambassador Gregory Newell. And again, a finer gentleman you couldn't ask for, like the rest of our board. He was the youngest U.S. ambassador ever in U.S. history, but in his post as ambassador to Sweden. He went on to become Undersecretary of State. He served under 4 different presidents when he working with them, both Nixon, Reagan, Ford, and Bush. I got that right? And today he is the CEO of the International Commerce Development Company. Then we'll go on to our board of advisors. Michael Lohner. Michael is the chairman of a company that some of you may be aware of called Stella & Dot, which is a multi-level marketing company specializing in fashion jewelry. They've got a great reputation and have grown dramatically. Enoch Palmer. Enoch is part of a partner in the firm Thatcher and Company. I'm sorry, Case. Thank you. Case and Company. The Case Agency is a renowned and recognized leader in global branding, and is including the architect of creating the brand of Omento. And by the way, I should have mentioned this too. Coming up with a new name, as people have asked, what about the name? It's very difficult to come up with a name in today's world that you can get the rights to and own around the world. And they did a lot of work in trying to find the right name and how we could do it. They presented it to us, and we all agreed Omento was kind of a neat name, and we managed to get a license for our owning it around the world. Let's see here. AJ is a very talented guy. He's CEO today of the Wine Connection, based in Bangkok. He also was in key executive roles, management roles for Yum Brands in Southeast Asia. And if you're not aware, Yum Brands is the largest restaurant group in the world. Bill Fleury. Bill is the past CEO of the telecom company iLink. Stephen Little, who's the only one that isn't with us today because he has some shoulder surgery. I can never get that out right. And is kind of stuck in his home in Washington, D.C. in recovery. He's the partner in Zero Limits consultancy firm. And then we have Brad Thacker, and Brad Thacker is the principal in a leading global PR firm, which is also our PR agency, handling such clients as Imagine and the country of Turkey. Now to kind of talk about the management team. And I've got to tell you, having worked at a lot of different companies, the key to any company is not the CEO. It really is the team that you're capable of building. And I'm not going to kind of go through everybody here, so you don't need to worry. I'm not going to go one by one, but just to give you the highlights of some of our newer additions to the company. Our CFO, who came on shortly after I did, Tom Virgin and I have worked together for the past 10 years, and I'm a really good sales guy and sold him into coming with me here. After he had several other offers, I talked him into it, and he did it. And far and away, Tom is the best CFO I've ever worked with in my career. And actually, the Puget Sound Business Journal, which is the business magazine of the Seattle, Washington area, named Tom Best Private Company CFO of the Year a few years back. So we're very honored to have Tom with us. The newest member of our team, and I'm going to skip over some of the ones that I know you already know. Tom Vogel. Tom's going to be on stage here to give you a little bit of his background too, so I'm not going to talk too much about him other than to say we've got another superstar. He had been the chief marketing officer for a very large outdoor company called REI, and he's going to give you some more highlights about him when he gets on stage. Harvard Business School grad, very smart, very good guy, very honored to have him. Nick Sharp, who's our CTO. Nick ran an e-commerce team out of Nike, specializing in e-commerce and in big data. He's the one that's going to be on stage here to show you what's going on, and I know you're going to be very excited about that. Who else do we have here? Krista. Krista's going to be on stage. She's our VP of Marketing. She's going to show you some of the things we're doing. She's going to tell you a little about herself too, so I'm not going to take the time to do that. Samantha Peterson is our VP of Global Acquisitions. Samantha isn't with us today. She's busy in Seattle, rather in Denver, doing a lot of what she needs to get done to better serve all of you. Talking about our growth. Again, Michael's vision in building a global company that was a leader in everything it did. Part of what goes along with that is being able to have offices that can handle the globe. And as you can see here today, we are well on our way. But really, I think we're scratching the surface. Knowing where we're going and knowing what you're going to see today and how fast we're going to be able to drive this even farther into even more countries. And you're going to learn more about that today too. But you can see here our offices in Portland, Denver, Fort Lauderdale, Brazil, Ireland, Berlin, New Delhi, Dubai, Singapore, and it's so new it didn't even make it here. We just opened up another development office in Salt Lake City in Utah. And just to give you a little kind of glimpse of what it all looks like, these are where the offices are and the buildings that we're in. So it's really very exciting when you see what's going on and what all's happening. And again, on the way to the vision, we're driving toward where Michael's goal was. We know that it's the goal that you all have, and we're all going to work together to make this happen. And we're so excited to be where we are. And with that, I look forward to, I've had the honor of meeting a lot of you. I look forward to meeting all of you, and hopefully we can do that before the end of the weekend. And with that, he needs no introduction whatsoever. Michael Hansen.
Yes, it's true. I'm not Michael Hansen. You can sit down. Thank you. Earlier, we welcomed all of our Dubli network, and we're so grateful. And so many of you have come from so far, all around the globe. You're appreciated, you're valued, and give yourself a round of applause. We love our Dubli network. As Ivan pointed out, there are many special guests that are with us today. And just on behalf of the company and all of Dubli Network, we want to welcome our board of directors. Thank you for being here. Our advisory board, dignitaries, and guests of Dubli, thank you so much for being here. You're going to be able to hear from our newest CNO, Ricky Frank, tomorrow specifically. He'll be emceeing the event and talking about some amazing, amazing training that we've all been anticipating for a long time. But I know as I look over at Ricky, both of us have experience from a corporate level, and just wanted to share with you very quickly as we introduce our next speaker, that sometimes we take things for granted. We've had the opportunity, both of us, to be in this industry for 20, 25, maybe a little bit more than 25 years. From a corporate level, been able to interview, been able to, so to speak, kick the tires of other companies. And it's very evident and very clear when you have the opportunity to work with a visionary like Michael Hansen. I had the extreme pleasure in my Domino's Pizza career to work with the founder of that company, be one of the largest franchise owners, and it was amazing. It was an incredible learning experience. There's Bill Gates, there's Steve Jobs and what's going on with Apple, there's Nike, all these incredible branded companies. And when I first heard about Dubli, it just so happened that my gorgeous wife passed me a book. And the name of the book was called Good to Great. And you're going to be listening about that same statement, good to great, as we continue on our Dubli Dream Jet. And it's very evident once I met him that the author Jim Collins was talking about Michael Hansen. Somebody with vision, somebody that knew how to start an incredible company. He already knew ahead of time what we were going to experience, what the speed bumps might be. And I think more than anything, as I look at our board of directors, our advisory board, and as all of you as our Dubli network, he had the fortitude, he had the experience, he put his ego aside and made sure for all of us that he surrounded himself with the best of the best in team members, employees, corporate individuals, to make sure that we all can go good to great. So we need an outstanding applause for our founder, Mr. Michael Hansen.
far? Good? And because I'm from a little country in Europe, I just want to hear, is there anybody from Denmark here? Very good. I don't think that I have ever been so excited in my whole life, in my business life, about what I'm going to show you here over the next 3 days. It's just completely incredible. And I'm not the only one excited. Actually, the whole team is excited because our whole team has been working for more than a year behind the scenes of putting all this together that you're going to see here over the next 3 days. And when I say a year, it's closer to 3 years of work because people has really been working day and night for putting this together. It's incredible. What you're going to see here over the next 3 days, what you're going to see over the next 3 days is really a look into the future. What our team has been put together with all the experience we have around the world is really a platform built on the newest technology. And we had a vision more than a year ago, and that was we want to launch a new global platform that could really support the growth of what's going to come. And our requirement was very, very simple to the team. You need to program a platform that can scale up to 1 billion customers overnight. It needs to be the fastest platform that the world has ever seen. It has to be built on the newest gamification, so we keep all our customers engaged. And at the same time, it has to be 100% personalized to every single customer around the world. So that's the task that got a little bit more than a year ago. We put them into the different offices around the world, closed the door, took the key with us, and a week ago we opened the door again to see what... And that's a joke, no. I am really, really so proud and honored to stand here today and show you all the things that's coming. And not only our technology team has been working day and night, and our graphic team and everybody, including our shopping mall team. And when we are launching this new platform here, we have been adding so many new merchants around the world. People have really been working over the last 8 to 10 months, day and night, contacting merchants around the world, so we are sure that we are actually opening up with the strongest platform this world has ever seen. So what I'm going to show you now is actually all the shops that we have been adding to all our local shopping malls around the world. And as most of you know, we have 12 local shopping malls today. So when we launch our new platform, more than 1,000 new stores will be added to our existing 12 shopping malls. So that is the new total number of merchants. And as you all know, over the last 2 years, we had like a rollout plan for the sales organization around the world. And the rollout plan that you need to have such a big volume in each country, you need to have so many customers, and then we're going to start adding local merchants. And I know that a lot of teams in a lot of countries around the world, as Gary said, there are more than 40 countries here today, has been working really, really hard. But what we also made a decision of with this new platform is that we're actually going to change the strategy. You know the old story with the chicken and the eggs, what's coming first? So we actually changed our whole strategy. And the strategy from now on is that before you actually start working in a country with a sales organization, we are already going to be ready with a local shopping mall. I hope your seatbelt is tight now because it's going to be really, really exciting. I'm going to present some of the new local countries that we are adding local merchants in. Are you ready? Yes! And what's very important to understand is that this is not the full scope of all the merchants. This is just the top merchant you're going to see here. Some of those shopping malls are actually launching with hundreds of local merchants. So Indonesia is the first country now we're launching with a local shopping mall. And I know how you're feeling now because I've been sitting where you are sitting. Do I know anybody in Indonesia? Ready for the next country? Yes. Malaysia. Ready for the next country? Yes. Thailand. Ready again? Yes. Philippines. I almost feel like Santa Claus up here. Ready again? Yes. Singapore. Honest to you, I don't know all the stores here, but I know this is really the top stores that you are seeing here in the different countries. Ready again? Yes. Hong Kong. Ready again? Yes. To the 5th biggest e-commerce market in the world, Brazil. Ready again? France. And as we said it from Denmark, Holland. Ready again? Portugal. Are you ready again? Yeah. It's like, you know, the sound is big. Poland. And to all my Scandinavian friends, ready? Yeah. Sweden. Ready again from Scandinavia, Finland. Belgium. Ready again? Yes. Norway. And I would like to continue for the rest of the day, but my team told me, no, we have so many things, Michael, can you please cut it down here? So to make it very, very easy for you, we actually put together 3 big slides here showing all the country where we from day one is launching national local shopping malls. Are you ready? Yes. And to make it easy, we put it in alphabetical order for you. Ready again? Ready again? I don't think I've ever seen so many cameras in my life. Suddenly all the faces disappeared and there's camera everywhere. What you are looking at here is history. Today, history is being made. Our new platform is been adding more than 7,000 merchants around the world to already the 1,000 of existing merchants we have. And our number shows, our search result shows that right now when the new platform is launching, you can search more than 1 billion products on a global scale with cashback. Thank you so much. I'll be back later. I hope you are as excited as I am.
Are you excited about a global business? There's no question about the excitement of having local malls and local shopping in global aspects. It's just amazing what's happening. A couple of quick announcements just to make sure that everybody is informed and communicated. During our journey over the next 3 days, you're going to have some questions. And right beside the stage during the break, they're here right now, are 2 large glass bowls. And while you're taking notes, and by the way, isn't that program unbelievable that you have right in front of you? First class, and thank you, Bettina and the corporate team for putting that together. But during the course of the event, during the breaks, if you have some questions, fill it out, write it out, put it in either one of these beautiful glass bowls. And on Sunday, as we close out our event, we're going to have a question and answer time with Michael Hansen right up on stage. So very important, it gives you the opportunity to be able to ask those questions. Merchandise. Wouldn't it be amazing if every single one of us in this room was wearing a Dubli hat, a Dubli polo, maybe Thomas some socks and shoes that curl up at the end that say Dubli on them? Wouldn't that be amazing? So, thank you. We've got some excitement from Virginia. Is Virginia Beach here? By the way, is Italy here? Italy? Okay. Not only the very first brand new vice president in Italy, but 2 hours later, another vice president in Italy. Yes. Could there be some network members from the Middle East? Yeah! Are you here? Okay, I know we have more than 2 of them that are here. Because we have the very first vice president in all of the Middle East, Khalid in the world. Back to the merchandise. Make sure that throughout the event, you get back there during the breaks, maybe while you're having some lunch, make sure you go home with bags and bags of Dubli branded wear. So very, very important. And we have some special raffles that we're going to have each and every day. Tom, we're going to do 3 raffles today, 3 tomorrow, 3 on Sunday. I saw what's in that goodie bag, that basket, and you're going to want to make sure that if you haven't already done so, make sure your raffle ticket, I believe it's right out front of the doors by the registration, put your raffle ticket in there. Very, very important. Thomas and our senior vice presidents wanted me to make sure that, I believe starting at the very first break, they're going to do some fun videos for all vice presidents. So if you are in this room as a vice president, make sure you get a hold of Thomas, you meet him where he's going to be filming some testimonials and having some fun time as we share this throughout the globe. So, as networkers and on the sales side, we envy these guys. I mean, we're having fun, we're out in the field, but isn't it amazing when you have the opportunity to have the tech people talk to you and show you all the exciting things that are coming to each and every one of us? Okay, we've got a few. For me personally, I love technology, phones, laptops, the Apple TV, but these are the guys that really make it happen. And we are so fortunate, we're so blessed to have the best of the best. And as Ivan and both Michael mentioned, Nick is our CTO, Chief Technology Officer. There's a company called Nike. Maybe you've heard of it, Nike. Nick and his team were solely responsible for all of Nike's platform to log on and register for the online experience for Nike. And we have the honor and privilege to have him on our team. As Michael and both Ivan pointed out, the team, a first-class team. It's our honor now to bring up on the stage. Get ready for our CTO, Mr. Nick Sharp.
This is all fake. I heard it. On behalf of the team, I just want to say thank you all. Most of us get into technology because we like solving problems. The thrill of it is in finding a solution to the challenge or the problem. But the fear of it is often that the product you design is going to sit on a shelf somewhere and collect dust. And that's not a fear that we have in this organization. This is going to be amazing. To see our product around the world pushed by you and your downlines, getting into the hands of consumers, we're very excited. Thank you. Michael mentioned a platform, and what we've designed really is a platform. We need to stop thinking about it like just a website. It's a platform, and it's a platform that is designed solely to be the best cashback experience for our customers. As part of that platform design, the tech team, we had kind of 6 major driving goals that we had to make sure we were able to hit, or else it wouldn't really matter. So I'm going to go over a few of those, but then we're really going to get to see some of the fun functionality that's coming down the pipeline. One of the biggest things that we needed to make sure we had to be competitive and to win is speed. The new platform is about 100 times faster than any of the other sites, including old Google. It'll be faster for you no matter where you are in the world. And that's the other fun part. Part of this global company that we have requires that it feel good and it feel fast. No matter what device you are, no matter the strength of your internet quality, mobile phone, laptop, doesn't matter. To do that, there's a lot of fun technology that we have to use. And forgive me if I get too geeky or technology here. We have a global content distribution network. That's a partner that we have called Cloudflare. They have servers across the world. They've done the legwork to get the fastest bandwidth to their servers, to get the fastest and best experience, no matter where you are browsing. Our content will be stored and cached in their edge servers around the world, so that if you are in India, or if you are over here in the Middle East, or if you're in Europe, you're not making a request to some server over in Florida. You're making a request to a server very close to you, optimized for speed, storing those images, and getting you that snappy page load. On this slide, we were debating, showing kind of some of the page numbers, how fast they load. And we ran into the problem that most people don't understand how fast 100 milliseconds is. Right? They see 100, they think that's a big number. That's our average page load time on our test environment right now. We have a bunch of fun technologies that are kind of new, and only in the recent last little bit have you been able to achieve these. Amazon Web Services, what they've done with the servers and the virtualization, allow entirely new patterns of design for websites. So for a lot of our system, we actually have what's called a serverless infrastructure. There's no server that's getting talked to that has to do any work to load a page for you. That's done ahead of time. Pre-compilation is a big deal. Localizing the content is part of the personalization initiative to make sure the content that your people see is localized to them. Both local deals that are applicable, merchants that are applicable, as well as translated. And all of this is powered by some of, again, like this new technology that Amazon's been working really hard, and we're working really hard to put it into practice and to take advantage of it. One of the other biggest goals that we had with the tech team that we've been keeping present is the reach. The amount of people that we can affect in a positive fashion, the amount of people that we can help save money on their normal shopping experiences. Part of that reach means we have to stop focusing quite so much. Like Michael mentioned, all these new local malls. The team had to focus more on being global. So through some of the partnerships, we can take over 191 different currencies right now. We will continually be adding additional mechanisms both to take money from our customers that purchase the VIP, but as well as to give the customers their cash back. In every region where we target, we'll find the best mechanisms that are most respected and utilized by those people. The system has been designed to be translated. From the ground up, translation is a first-class citizen of the system. And we have strong translation partners that will help us get the site quickly translated into over, I think, 53 languages by the end of the year. As Michael mentioned, we've got double merchants already, and that's only growing. The platform, again, has been designed to work with Samantha and her team to bring on merchants with an ease that we've never had before. To bring on not only the merchant, but their coupons, their deals, and their products. Bringing all of that into the system and exposing to the customers. One other large thing, the third, is consistency. The platform is no good if it's only fast for a couple of us. It's no good if it only gives personalized merchants to a few of us. Keeping a consistent experience across all of the users and across all of the devices, which we'll be talking about later, is important. And I just want you to know that the team has been working very hard on this regard. Tyler is one of our testers and coders who keeps the rest of us in shape. To that end, we've got tens of thousands of lines of tests. And every time we make a change to the code, it runs an entire test suite on virtualized servers before it ever gets to our servers. That gives us something that's called continuous integration or continuous delivery. So rather than a feature being done and having to sit and wait for months to be tested by a group of external testers, we'll know. And we'll know that it's not going to negatively affect an experience that you already have. This ability to consistently and continually add new features to the product is part of the biggest drive here. So that we don't just launch the product that you're going to see today. This is the beginning. This is the seed of what the product will be. Another large concern, again, we deal with shopping data. We deal with people's experience. And part of the problem is we have to gather their confidence before they will really use us to shop. So to that note, we've made sure that we have some most secure systems that you can get at the moment. And we will be continually revising that to make sure we stay ahead of the curve. There won't be any data breaches as long as we can prevent them. To that end, 100% of the pages will be stored over HTTPS. And this is a very technologically geeky aside, but getting that page load speed that I mentioned at 100 milliseconds over HTTPS is quite difficult. And we're quite proud of that. So I know a few of you might recognize it. We're using bank and military-grade encryption wherever possible in the system. We have a web application firewall that prevents intrusion attempts or hacking attempts on the website. Cloudflare, as I mentioned, is not only our content distribution network, but they also serve to help us prevent DDoS attacks or distributed denial of service. When someone wants to take down our system, they're going to have quite a hard time doing it. We have what's called level 7 protection in DDoS. That means they're really going to have to throw the power of a small country at us in order for our servers to even notice. Then again, ideally, you all push enough customers at us that it's essentially the same thing. And again, we won't notice. The product needed to be focused, the platform needs to be focused. And when I say focused, I mean, again, what I mentioned, this needs to be the best cashback experience that your customers can find around the web. It's an interesting challenge because the merchants often give their APIs and their affiliate network relations to whoever asks for them. So it's an interesting level playing field. So we will beat and continually beat other people who could have access to the same merchants as we do. And we will do that by retaining our focus on being the best cashback experience, the best shopping companion for customers around the world. And the product needs to be easy. Customers already have enough of a problem figuring out if they can shop online, shipping, which credit card am I going to put it on, does PayPal work in my country? These are problems that they're already working through. How to get cash back on their purchases needs to be something that is not a problem. It's not a question. It's not difficult. And the ease of the product, the platform that that we've created support some very unique and powerful experiences. And we're going to be talking about a few of the experiences. The mobile, as you can see there, the web experience, we'll talk about a few more. To do that though, I would very much like to introduce my colleague Krista. He is our senior UX, which is the user experience, and he's going to walk you through some of the things that we've done to make sure that this experience is pleasure and ease for your customers.
Well, thanks for that introduction, Nick, and thank you so much for covering the amazing details of the technology infrastructure that we have. I have the great pleasure of getting to work on that infrastructure. The great pleasure of saying, hey, the security is taken care of, the speed is taken care of, we're delivering in every language, now let's make it amazing. So, I've been a UX lead at several companies, and then I came to Dubli, and it was like, this is great. I get to, approach some of the problems that we have with cashback, approach some of the, interesting, ways that a person goes about getting their cashback. And so I wanted to start at the top, right? I wanted to start, okay, let's think user experience. Let's think, where does that begin? Well, first up, it begins with basically two components, right? You've got a person, and then you've got a merchant, right? Let's use Expedia as an example merchant. So that's a one-to-one relationship. That's what the person is used to. The person is used to going to the store or shopping online and getting that product, right? Now, the challenge begins with any cashback website that you're introducing a third party into that equation. So it's no longer just you and Expedia, right? It's actually that you are going shopping your favorite brands on Dubli, and then what we're doing is we're really rolling out the red carpet for you with that merchant. We're telling them, hey, get this person extra cash back, get this person a great deal because they're with us, right? So we're introducing that third party into the equation. This is what we call first tier education, okay? So with first tier education, we're basically meeting the user wherever they're at. If they're unfamiliar with the concept of cashback, that's where we're starting with them. So this is important from the user experience side, that we're beginning from the start. Then I want to cover what we call Tier 2 education, right? So once you tell a person, hey, it's not just you and the merchant any longer, it's you, Dubli, and the merchant, right? Then we get into Tier 2 education. If a person understands Tier 1 education, the second place they go to is, yeah, I get it, but how does that work? How is that even possible that I'm actually leaving money on the table, that there's extra money in that transaction, that I can get more cash back? How is that possible? Then we present something along these lines to them, right? The companies have two choices when they spend on marketing. They can either take a shot in the dark with advertising, or they can give it to you. And what we've done is we've gone alongside all of these merchants, and we've made that connection, and we're sharing that with you, right? So you have two choices, right? You can either not get cash back, or you can get cash back. And so once we get into Tier 2 education, people start to get it, right? That's when people start to make that application of, okay, there's no gimmick involved. This is legitimate, real cash back, it's scalable, and I can use it for all my purchases. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is that it's all about the merchant, right? So we began with that customer and Expedia or a merchant relationship, customer, merchant. So what that means is the more we stay out of the way of that process, the more we lower the friction between getting a customer related to the merchant, the more that we win, right? The more that people shop, the more that people get cash back, the more we get commissions, which means more money. So I wanted to start by showing you a little bit how we're going to be showing merchants on the website. We've got an element that we call a merchant card, and I'll show you what a merchant card looks like. This is basically what a merchant card looks like. What you've got is a component relationship here. So you've got, in this case, the logo, and then we go into the title, we go into the amount of cash back, and I did want to mention to everyone, all of these screens that you'll be seeing are simply examples, right? So don't read the cashback numbers because they're not meaningful right now. What's meaningful is the design and the experience. These are just examples. You have the ability to favorite a merchant right off the bat, or to share with any of these tools, right? All of the new social media that's out there, you'll have share tools for that. You have the ability to dive directly into deals. And we will actually be spinning up blog articles specific to individual merchants. We'll be referencing merchants in those articles. And so basically you'll have more power with the engagement, right? So it's not just about the merchant, but now we're also addressing the story behind what you can do with that merchant. So here's an example of how versatile merchant cards are, right? So we can shrink them down to 1 or 2 components, or we can even add more components. This is an example of adding product photography within the merchant card, right? So you see some of how we can prioritize some merchants and deprioritize others. How we can say, this experience is more about just showing the logo, right? Or this experience is more about showing some details with some deals. So I wanted to cover what you do with a merchant card, right? We're all familiar with this. You click into the merchant. This is what we call the merchant detail page. So I'm about to show you what the new merchant detail page looks like. So this is an example of what Nautica would look like, right? So you've got the cash back right across the top, right? There's no need to look around for it. It's right there, as well as all the exceptions to that cash back. So that way there's no miscommunication about what you get that cash back on. And all of our customers will be completely dialed into, okay, I know I can get the cash back. I know I'm committed to buying. And then it's important, this line here, everything below comes with the same above cash back, right? So all of the deals, all of the coupons come with that cash back at the top, right? So you're stacking your savings. And so in this example, you see just 2 deals. You see a deal and a coupon, but we'll have many deals and many coupons, and we'll be sourcing all sorts of different points of data to get all of those deals and coupons. Also, you can see off to the side, we've got the description, and we'll have other metadata. You may have heard that term, metadata. What that really means is great SEO. And what great SEO means is that when a person is searching for that merchant, we're showing up in those search results. We're getting those people cash back. We're getting those savings. We're getting those commissions. What a person does from the merchant detail page or from the merchant card, obviously, is they outclick to the merchant. And we really wanted to focus, right? That is really where the magic begins, is when a person outclicks to the merchant. So we really wanted to focus on what that will be like. So we're introducing this modal here. And this modal is on your way out, right? So again, like I talked about that education, we're going to be meeting the user where they're at. So if a person is not familiar with how cashback works in every way, this modal will introduce them to the fact that, hey, you're on the right path. You're doing cashback the right way. It's not that complicated. You click out to the merchant, you buy some stuff, you get cashback. And we're also introducing another modal, and that modal will be that once that new window pops open, right, and you start to do your shopping there, this modal will change in the background, right? So when you close that other window, maybe to Expedia, you close that window, and all of a sudden, you've got a feedback form, right? So you can rate that merchant with a 5-star, you can give a description of what you did, you can enter your order number to help us track your cashback better. All sorts of things. So we're not only engaging you on the way out, but we're engaging you on the way back to the site. I wanted to quickly address some of the ways that we'll be contacting people, right? So any medium is going to be a contact medium for us. If you authenticated via Facebook, we'll reach out to you via Facebook. Nobody's doing this right now. We'll be sending actual messages through Facebook profile. With Twitter, we'll be doing the same. With email, we'll be doing the same. However you meet us, we'll meet you with that same medium. And we'll have all of the preferences and details for you to be able to set your privacy and your notification controls with very high precision. Because we want to respect our user and we want to put them in the driver's seat. I also wanted to talk about sharing, right? Sharing's great. We have done major steps to make sharing a part of everything in the new site, right? So every step along the journey is something that is a shareable experience, right? So you're not in the dark and your friends aren't in the dark. You can now share those experiences and let people know the merchants you're shopping at, the cash back you're getting, and the other points along the way. What this means is more engagement for you to your customers. What it means is more engagement for your customers to their friends. It just means simply more buzz, more volume, and more being shared about Dubli. I wanted to cover something else that's incredibly exciting. In every detail of the site, we have gone to great lengths to do knitting. We've sewn deep into every aspect of the site personalization. So the experience that you get is not necessarily the experience that someone else gets. Every experience on the site is completely unique because it's driven through our algorithm of personalization. That's right, we've got an algorithm. So, very exciting, very exciting. I also wanted to cover what some of our landing pages and collections look like, right? So when you take that merchant detail and you put it on that merchant card, what does it look like when those cards are together? And hey, Kirk, what does our new homepage look like? I've got it for you. Here it is. So this is a look at our new homepage. So just to cover a bit of the way a user would approach this, first what they're going to see is that photo off to the right there. And they're going to say, wow, okay, this is an engaging photo. Then the eye will track across the page. And as it tracks across the page, instantly you're greeted with a testimonial about what that person used to do with their cash back, right? In this case, the person likes to travel. So she's saying, I saved so much, I was able to take a vacation. Right, so it's a great testimonial. They've also got their name there with details about how much cash back they've gotten. And then a huge call to action of start saving today. Once the person sees start saving today, they say, hey, well, I'm still skeptical. Well, look at that. We've got our 5-star merchants right there. And then not only our 5-star merchants, but below the fold, or not below the fold, but below that top photo, this is all the above the fold experience. But below that top photo, we've got the 5-star merchants, right? Or the 5-star deals, right? So you're making that 5-star merchants at the top and the 5-star deal association, and you're saying, wow, I kind of see the places I could shop. I know those logos, and I see the kind of deals I can get. Those are amazing deals. So that just covers a bit of what the homepage will look like. And this is, again, for the new user coming to the site. I wanted to show you as well what a collection would look like. And this is when we put merchant cards together. A collection is something like an event, like Happy New Year's, right? Something that's maybe a national holiday. I don't mean a Dubli event. I mean just like a normal national holiday, Happy New Year's, etc. Whatever it may be. And as Nick mentioned before, we're in all these countries, we're in all these languages, so we'll be localizing these events to you. This list of merchants that you see here is personalized, right? So we've sewn that personalization engine into every aspect of the site, so the merchants that you see will be different for you, right? They'll be sorted in a different order, and they'll be prioritized for your experience, to give you the best experience, to give your customers the best experience. I wanted to also go back and show you a different homepage, right? So that way you can kind of get a feel for, here's what the content looks like, here's what the homepage is looking like. This is another example, right? In this, that we're advertising toward a younger demographic, right? Maybe the kind of demographic that pulls their cash back out in $5 or $10 increments. In this case, you know, she just bought a coffee with it. What a great purpose for cash back, right? I can get my morning coffee with it. So it just shows you how versatile this landing page will be. And here is a collection that is actually a category. Right, so we'll have many categories on the site, as we already do, but now we'll have collections around those categories. And so, again, we may have the same merchants in these collections for everyone, but that ordering, that prioritization, will be meaningful to your personalization. I also wanted to cover that it's not just events and categories, but it's also things like a fashion moment, right? Like this is a new fashion, the bohemian style. Well, we can make a page for that, a collection for that. So we'll be able to spin up collections for any purpose, which means we'll be able to personalize things and personalize collections to the user. I wanted to address search as well. So with search, we've powered it up. We will allow you to search merchants with type ahead, so that way as you're auto-completing. And our website does that now, but we're going to improve upon that. We're also going to improve upon the amount of search results we're doing. In the future, we'll even be looking at combining products into that search, right? So that way when you're searching for a product that a merchant offers, boom, that merchant is showing up. We're also going to be including site navigation in the search. So when a person, you say, how would you get to this page? And they say, well, I use the search. And you say, well, you could just click it. Well, that person might use the search. We're going to meet them where they're at. So that search result will show up from the site navigation. So we'll be doing all sorts of things to make the whole site searchable, all of our content searchable. And we've got a lot of data, like Nick was telling you. Oh, and remember how I was talking about sharing? It's not just sharing. Every time you share, it is a referral. And so you can get up to $5 cash back, or you get $5 cash back when your new customers join and when they earn $25 of cash back within the first 90 days. And this is not just a one-time thing. You can get this over and over and over again. So think of how that cash adds up. And not only that, but when you share that email, it automatically starts an engagement campaign, right? An auto-start engagement campaign. So not an email that you write once. No, we will engage them in a way that is proven with data to make that conversion. And remember how I talked about personalization being sewn into every aspect of the site. We've got another thing that's sewn into every aspect of the site, and that's gamification. What does gamification mean? It means that you don't just get your cash back. Your customers don't get just their cash back. Gamification means you can earn your way to doubling your cash back. And I wanted to show you what that gamification looks like. So here you can see, basically you've got your meter, and you get to earn your way to the top. Right? And so you say, well, Kirk, gosh, my new user signed up. I don't want them to have to work once they signed up. Well, guess what? For the first 3 months, new users get a maximum cash back. What you also see here is, even using a like button or sharing on Twitter or just using the site in general, everything you do will earn you more points. All of those points earn you more cash back. And you're going to be blown away with what we carry out through this. This is going to be one of our major gearings for how we introduce new things, how we incentivize our users to do more with our site. And the more sharing you do, the more engagement we do, the more gamification points you get, the more savings you get. So I wanted to show you where this actually fits on your dashboard, right? So here's your new dashboard. What you've got down the side here is your cashback growing over time. You've also got detailed transactions. And believe me, we are focusing on this page and we will be making it an excellent tool for you that has all the information you need. Off to the right, you'll see that we're offering even a blog article just in line. So you'll see that we're making these engagements across the site. So it doesn't feel like a dry Excel spreadsheet, right? It feels like an experience. You say, I've got my cash back on the left, and I know what I can do with it on the right. And then as you see, there's the cash back down there too. So, let's talk about referrals, right? Remember how we talked about those $5 referrals? Well, it's not just those $5 referrals. You can actually turn it into a business. And we will be providing tools to turn your referrals into a business. So the product allows for the ability to create shared referral links and to track those links with high specificity. So you can get analytics on everything that your people are doing. You can create new links for everything you do, right? So let's say that I'm a BA and I create a YouTube video. I can make a new link, right? And I can put it on that video. And then I can see specifically when people watch that video and clicked that link, what stores did they go to? I know that now. Where nobody accessing the world. I know that. Right? And not only that, this is showing my group overview of all of my links. Well, we did more. You can actually dive into the detail of any link, and you can get detailed analytics on just that link. And not only that, but we'll allow grouping in the future too. So you can say, here are all of my YouTubes, here are all of my Twitters. How did they do over time? And so with that, I'd like to bring Nick back up on stage, and he's going to cover a bit more.
As you can tell, we're very, very excited about this. Now, I know the question on the majority of your minds is when, and because I'm a sadist, I will not answer that question. I'll leave that to Michael for later. The other thing that I did want to mention is we will be watching when we launch this, and when you're all notified, we will be watching. The entire team will be back in our offices, watching the monitors, seeing how you experience the site for your first time, and then we fully expect to see the influx of your customers, and we're ready for it. We've also left a few things as surprises for you. We didn't want to spoil all of it, but look forward to the best login and registration experience you can imagine. By phone, by email, by social network. It will not be a problem for your customers. It will not be a pain point for your customers. Look forward to that. There are other surprises. We expect you to find them, and we expect to see how much you use them, and just as we expose more analytics to you all, we'll be tracking everything. The other thing that Kirk did not necessarily mention is that we'll be testing everything. This is all data-driven. This is the launch. This is the seed. This is the starting point. We'll be trying new variations. We'll be trying new personalization algorithms. And as we see the success in a specific region, in a specific language, for a specific merchant, we can then replicate that across the rest of the platform, to the rest of the countries, to the rest of the place. The final thing that I wanted to mention is that nowhere on that site did you see necessarily that you're locked into a region, that you're locked into a language. You'll not have that issue of the customer registered on the wrong portal. That difficulty is in the past. The country that you tell us is a preference. The language that you tell us is a preference. And the currency that you wish to see things written in is a preference. And these preferences are controllable by the users. With ease, they'll be able to say, show me merchants that are in the US, show me merchants that are in India, show me merchants that are in Greece. I don't care. You're the merchant, you're the customer. What do you want to see? The system won't lock these people into a corner anymore. And that, again, comes back to the fact that this is meant to be a truly global cashback product. And the final piece that I wanted to mention, we had our 6 goals when we were designing this product as a tech team. There's a 7th. It's a little, I don't know how to say, difficult to measure, but it's flawless. Our goal is to make this experience as flawless as possible for every participant. The business user who is referring more and more users, the partner program, the blogger, the customer, the mother who just wants to save on her groceries. Flawless execution is what the team is striving for. It may be difficult, we may slip up. When we do, we'll sorry. But know that our goal is for a perfect, flawless execution of this product. And we're striving towards that. Thank you. You'll see more of us later.
Now, Dubli Nation, I don't think that was good enough. Both Nick and Kirk are going to be going back to their teams. Let's give them the outstanding applause and gratitude. Come on, everybody. Thank you so much. Absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter if we're in China, Hong Kong, Middle East, India, United States, Canada, all parts of the world. That was a wow. we're going to be hearing more from them in just a little bit. Have another announcement for everybody. During our lunch break is an opportunity for those sales directors and above that have not had the opportunity yet to make sure that you register, your name is in place, go to the registration desk for our Sunday night event for sales directors and above. So during the lunch break, make sure if you haven't already that you do get registered for that. Now I heard a rumor that there were some people with us today from India. Is that correct? Yeah. Is there any people from India here? Okay, everybody turn around and look one time. Can we hear that again, please? From India, are you here? Yeah. Very, very small market. 1.2 billion people. Just in the last 60 days, Himanshu, Sujit, Shushanta, all vice presidents. Congratulations, and we'll be seeing them throughout the weekend. What an amazing, amazing team that we have. So what have we heard so far? We heard about the team that's been assembled and put in place. If this was a sports team, it'd be kind of like the front office, the general managers, the owners, all of the people that are making the decisions. And we do have a world-class, first-class management team. And then we had the opportunity to hear Michael share the vision of global shopping. And then followed right behind that, the platform and what this is going to mean for all of our global customers. But you need to have some marketing. And in many times, many companies, people will actually not put the funds in place, not have the right team in place, and not really emphasize with all the great products and product that we have, they would simply not support the marketing. But that's not Dubli. And we're going to welcome on stage our brand new Chief Marketing Officer, and he will bring with him in just a little bit our Vice President of Marketing, which that means Mr. Tom Vogel and Krista Paul. Come on stage.
Good morning, and thank you, Jerry. As Ivan said in his opening remarks, I'm the newest member of the management team, and in fact, this is actually my 1-month anniversary at Dubli. So I can't think of a better way to spend it than with all of you, and I really appreciate this opportunity. When Ivan was talking about his first conversation with Michael, I actually was thinking back to my first conversation with Ivan, and it was very similar. I could just see the excitement, the enthusiasm, the vision that he conveyed to me, and that's one of the main reasons that I'm here today. I wanted to just spend a few minutes to get an introduction to myself and tell you a little bit more about why I'm here, and more importantly, why I'm very excited about the future of this business. This is just an incredible time to be a part of this organization, and I hope to convey some of that enthusiasm with you today. So first, just a little bit about myself. I've had the opportunity over the last almost 20 years of my career to work with some really amazing brands and companies that have been pioneers in not only marketing but also e-commerce, as well as some much smaller companies in the recent years as startups. So back to 1998, which, if you think about some of those examples that Jerry shared with us earlier, it's not quite back to the days of slides and brick phones, but those were the early days of the internet. And One of the reasons why I joined Dell back in 1998 was because they were a pioneer in the direct selling model for computers. They were selling directly to consumers and businesses all over the globe, but they were also a pioneer in e-commerce. And so that was one of the reasons why I joined them. I came on board in 98 in the consumer business. It was an amazing time. The consumer business in the US was growing like mad. I had the opportunity to actually run the consumer e-business during that time and actually rode the bubble of the internet before it burst, and saw a lot of companies that were having success go by the wayside, but Dell was really one of those companies that continued to innovate and grow in e-commerce. Another thing that I feel really fortunate to have had the experience of when I was at Dell was working overseas. So I spent 18 months working in Brazil. It's really great to see the team here from Brazil today. I was down in Porto Alegre, Brazil, as the general manager of a business there. And then again, in my last year at Dell, I was living in Sydney, Australia, and I was the marketing director for all of Asia Pacific. So I traveled extensively in China, Japan, Korea, India, Singapore, Malaysia, and all the way down to Australia and New Zealand. So it was a really amazing experience for me there. I then joined REI, which probably a lot of people outside of the US may not have heard of, but REI is the leading outdoor retailer in the United States, a premium retailer, an innovator in e-commerce. It's also a member-based organization. It's the largest consumer cooperative in the world, actually, with 6 million members. And so, one of the things that was really interesting to me about that, and a parallel to the Dubli organization, is knowing so much about your customer and being able to provide value-added solutions to them as members of that organization. Then over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, I've spent time in startup organizations like Redfin Real Estate, which is an innovator in trying to reinvent real estate in the US, and then The Climb, which is another online retailer in the US in the outdoor space. So I've been really fortunate to have some of those experiences, and some of the things that I've learned along the way are really these 5 trends that I wanted to highlight for you this morning. And I think that each one of these things are things that the Dubli organization is doing incredibly well. You heard a lot of those a few minutes ago with Kirk and Nick, and you're going to hear more throughout the day. The first is that the companies that are really harnessing the power of data are winners today. And what does that really mean? You hear a lot in the news about big data, and I think sometimes it's hard to really get your head around what that actually means. But the way I think about big data is it really does 2 things for you. One is it helps you to understand what you're doing well, what you're not doing well, and to be more efficient. And then secondly, it allows you to have insights about your customer that allow you to be a lot more relevant in creating relationships with them. And there's an old joke in advertising about that 50% of your advertising is wasted. It's completely ineffective. You just don't know which 50%. And so big data is one of those things that allows you to really know what you're doing well and what you're not, and to do more of the things you're doing well, and then find the new things that you're not. The second piece of that, back to the notion of relevancy, is that having that information about your customer and all the things that we're doing around gamification on the website that allows us to get closer and closer to who our customers are and to be more and more relevant. And it becomes this virtuous cycle that allows us just to be this amazing site that people come back to and they tell other people about. So that's the notion of relevancy. Being both global and local is another formula for success, and it's a big trend right now. And it's one of the things that I think we have so much to be excited about here is that we're building a business that has global scale. We have a website that's incredibly fast. It's going to scale up in more than 100 countries around the globe and selling 1 billion products. But we're going to have localization of our content, of our offers, of our merchants. Some of the merchant growth that Michael shared with you earlier, and some of the things you'll hear from Krista about what we're doing to localize content is ways that we're doing both global and local well. Networks. I know I don't have to tell you guys about networks, but networks is a really amazing thing, and it's a big trend right now. If you think about it, word of mouth people telling other people about products and brands has always been the most effective form of advertising. That took a huge leap forward with the advent of social networks, and now with the combination of the internet, of social networks, and with network marketing, it's an even more powerful thing. I think it's just an incredibly important advantage that we have. And then finally, mobile is just changing at an incredibly fast rate all around the globe now. Arguably, mobile commerce is actually changing at a faster rate right now and is driving more innovation than even e-commerce did 15 years ago. And as you'll see in just a few minutes when Kirk and Nick come back up on the stage, we're doing some incredible things in mobile, and I think it's another reason for us to be very excited about the future. So I am absolutely thrilled to be here. I look forward to meeting many of you over the course of the next few days, but more importantly, I look forward to being your Chief Marketing Officer and to contributing to the success of this organization. Our future is bright, and I think we're going to, together, going to really be winners in this, this new global e-commerce space. So thank you very much, and I'm now going to introduce Krista.
Until when it was?
Further personalize their experience in e-commerce.
5 minutes, okay.
Transactional emails will be utilized for folks after they complete an action on the site, whether it be making a purchase, output into a store, or favoriting a store. We also have a ton of email campaigns that are planned to upgrade our customers into the VIP lounge, which Michael and Nick, I don't want to steal the thunder for the new VIP lounge, so I'm going to leave it there. We've got lots of plans. Our daily emails will contain lots and lots of content for events. And events are both global and local, and they give our users reasons to shop, which earn you more commissions. Let me give you an example. The entire year of 2014 at Dubli, we launched 29 events in all of our markets. In Q4 of 2015 alone, Dubli will be launching 197 events worldwide. These events are global and local. We have amassed a local team of market representatives from all over the world, and they work with our marketing team to curate all of those local events in every single region so that our customers can have personal experiences with events that they actually care about. Events like Diwali in India or Children's Day in Brazil. All of these events are going to take place in email and on the website and the platform. So we've talked about how we are personalizing the experience on the website, which is so important to not only create a better experience for our customers, but also create more purchases. It's also important for companies of our size to create incentives for our existing consumers to invite their friends into the platform. So Dubli is launching with 2 brand new, unique customer referral programs. And I'm going to go over both of them right now. So the first program is actually built, it's built on the Invite a Friend platform that pays a person to refer their friends to the website with one very unique twist. Let me give you an example. So let's say I invite Alex onto Dubli. As soon as I invite Alex onto the website, I get a boost. And we all remember, this is gamification. This helps me earn double cash back at the premium level. All I gotta do is invite Alex to the website. Then, when Alex joins and makes his first purchase, I get paid. Dubli just pays me $5. So we are actually rewarding our customers twice just for referring their friends to the site. This program is open to any of our customers on the website, and anybody can join and start referring their friends. We have tons of different ways, and Kurt touched on this, to spread this program. Customers can promote it to their friends through email, through social, through any of these personalized links, and they can access all of their data and the metrics of how they're doing within the website. The second program is called Dubli Elite, and it's a program that was designed for a different type of customer. And these are our customers that have a verifiable source of leads. They could be a blogger, they could be a media person, they could be an ambassador. This program is an application